As Ophelia made her way up the steps, she started to hear voices coming from her bedroom. But the door was shut, and it was tripping her out because it sounded like a female voice. Then when she reached the top of the steps, she could hear like bed springs squeaking. So she walks over to the bedroom door, turns the knob, pushes it open, and she sees her brand new husband, Sean, bent over in front of another man with his face buried in the female's crotch. Ophelia couldn't believe her eyes. Her heart damn near stopped beating. She watching her husband get drilled from the back. Too much for her heart to bear. She pulled the door back too, unnoticed. While they continued on with their party, enraged with anger, Ophelia stormed down the hallway into the hall closet. She had to stand on her tippy toes to grab the lockbox off the top shelf. Shaking with anger, she go in her pocket, take out her keys, get the fumbling looking for the key. Then when she find the right key, she sticks it in the lockbox, open it up, and grabs Sean's pistol out of there. This was his registered gun that he kept when he had to work on them train tracks at night. But anyway, with tears in her eyes, she snatched the gun out the box and stormed back down the hallway. Her heart was in a million pieces. Full of rage, she opened the door and took aim. Sean, who was still getting drilled from the back by the big black dude, turned and dived on the bed when he saw Ophelia standing there with that pipe. The girl get to scream, ow! Big dude like, what's going on? What's going on? Sean, he on the bed like, babe, it's not what you think. Let me explain. Ophelia like, shut the fuck up. Shut up. She holding the gun, looking around on the bed. She sent KY jelly, all kind of sex toys. The girl had on some type of leather mask where you could only see her eyes and lips. Looking at Sean disgusted, Ophelia just started shooting. Boom, 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 boom. Firing 17 shots all together, shooting all three people, deleting Sean and the girl instantly. The big dude was shot in his private area and in his throat, but he was still gasping for breath. Ophelia stood there, kept pulling the trigger. Click, click, click. Even after the gun was out of bullets. Then she snapped out of it. Boom, so like I was saying, Ophelia was still standing there pulling the trigger. Click, click, click. Even after she ran out of bullets. Then she snapped out of it and dropped the gun right there on the bedroom floor. She stood there for a few seconds looking at the carnage she had just caused. Three people laid out riddled with bullets. Blood all over the place. Gun smoke could be smelled in the air. Breathing heavily, Ophelia backed out of the bedroom and walked down the hallway, shaking and trembling as she walked down the steps. When she got out front, the whole neighborhood was out there signifying. Motherfuckers had heard the gunshots. When she walked out the door, they all, "Are you okay? Are you okay?" Still in shock, Ophelia paid them no mind. She calmly walked through the crowd of people, got in her car and pulled away from the curb, heading straight to her baby father's house to see her daughter. The whole car ride, she was beating and punching on the steering wheel, crying hysterically. "How could you do this to me? You ruined everything. My life is over now." She'd stepped on the pedal and drove faster and faster. She flying through the city, taking all the red lights, not even caring if she get in an accident, run somebody over. It didn't matter. So as she's screaming at the top of her lungs inside the car, doing 95 miles an hour, coming down a city street, she crashes head on with a Baltimore City fire truck, totaling the BMW. The car's engine bay caught on fire upon contact. She wrecked out right in front of the bank on Moravia Road. Firefighters jump out the fire truck, pull Ophelia from the burning car, just in the nick of time before that motherfucker exploded. Boom! They had drug Ophelia's body to the sidewalk. She was injured pretty badly. She was covered in blood. She had glass fragments in her face from the windshield shattering. Her left leg was broken, and 3 of her ribs broken from the impact. The explosion shook the ground violently because when her car exploded, it caused the back half of the fire truck to explode as well. But anyway, Ophelia was barely conscious. She was seeing things in a blur. When the ambulance got there, she blacked out and woke up in the hospital. She had woke up during surgery. They had to give her more anesthesia to put her back under because she was panicking. When she finally came out of surgery, they took her to her hospital room, and it was already Baltimore detectives in there waiting on her. Sad. When Ophelia finally got out of surgery, they took her to her hospital room, and it was already Baltimore City detectives in there waiting on her. They had her in a wheelchair because her leg broke from the car crash. The detectives let her know that they would be taking her down the station to be fingerprinted and processed. She asked for what? They told her she was being charged with a double homicide plus attempted homicide. When he said that, she was wondering who could have survived. But anyway, they told her they got the gun off the bedroom floor and they were going to try to match her fingerprints to the one on the pistol. She heavily medicated, stitches all in her face from the glass flying out the windshield, leg broke, ribs broke, and she had this real bad pain in her jaw to where it hurt to talk. But anyway, when they got down to the station, she took her photograph, they fingerprinted her, processed her, gave her charge papers, and had to wait in the bullpen to see the two commissioners. Because in Baltimore, if somebody died in your case, you got to see two commissioners instead of one. But anyway, she in the bullpen till 3:30 in the morning, and she finally sees two commissioners. They both deny her bail, send her over that Baltimore City jail. When she get over that jail and get situated, she hop on the phone, calls her baby father, Kenny. When she tell him what she being charged with, he lose his top on the phone. He trying to ask her what happened and all that, but she don't want to talk on that phone, knowing that her phone call being recorded and them people's listening. So she told him to come see her and to bring her daughter with him. So he like, all right, boom. They finish their conversation, hang up the phone. Now, Ophelia baby father, Kenny, he's from over West Baltimore, straight hustler, get to the bag, real street nigga. From up Park Heights, he had just bought the house out the county, ducked off. His operation was running so smooth, he had his shit set up to where as though soon as he get his work, it's already sold. He had customers waiting on this to come in that would spend big bread. So he would snatch like 20 kilos of cane. And within a week, all that should be sold. He had the right connections. He kept a low profile, not too flashy. And his thing was, he ain't keep no girlfriend long enough for her to know his business. Kenny just didn't trust people. And that's what made him last so long in the game. He beat a body back in the day. Dudes tried to rob him. It didn't end well for the dude. Kenny ended up beating the body and earned his reputation right then and there in the streets. Ophelia was really the love of his life, his baby mother, you know what I mean? She left him because he wouldn't leave the street life alone. She got tired of going to see him over the jail all the time and all that. Ironically, look who got to go see who over the jail now. But anyway, so when Ophelia got with this new dude, Sean, that shit broke Kenny heart for real. He really wanted to do something to Slim, but realistically, he had to let her go. One of the hardest things he had to ever do, but he had to let her go. Now, Kenny had a best friend named Tank. Him and Tank was thick as thieves. And Tank was the gunman, even though Kenny played with that pistol too. Tank loved that shit. That's what he lived for. He was the muscle and the bill collector. Some niggas call him the boogeyman. He had a real scurry reputation. Because a lot of times, if you see him, it's already too late. But anyway,